Let's chat about lifecycle marketing's impact and its role in growing your company. I'll lead with answer. I'm not going to hide it until the end. Lifecycle marketing's impact is moving conversion, retention, and expansion metrics. Most companies who decide to bring on a lifecycle person do it because they've either A, hit a ceiling on their acquisition efforts, or B, they're scaling acquisition efforts and they want to be sure that everyone who could be converted is converted, like people who enter their email, create an account, or sign up for a trial. The common sense first principles thinking here is that if you don't message or nudge people after they reach certain steps, then they won't take next steps. This is where pulling lifecycle as a growth lever comes in. So if we zoom out, there's actually a framework here that I want to chat through for a minute, and I call it ACRE metrics, which is acquisition, conversion, retention, and expansion. Most venture-backed startups I'd work with make big-time investments in acquisition before they ever invest in lifecycle. This makes total sense. They're trying to get traction, trying to get initial customers in the door, trying to get to product market fit. But over time, what happens when you only invest in acquisition is you start to miss out on opportunities to market to the people who are already a contact in your database, who may not have become a first-time customer, or they were never onboarded well, or they never made a repeat purchase, or they churned early. As more people come into the door, all of these segments keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which means missed opportunities. The pain of missed opportunities definitely starts to feel real as those segment numbers grow or as acquisition costs get higher and higher, which usually leads to an investment in conversion, retention, and expansion through lifecycle. A simple way to think about this too is that acquisition is invitation and lifecycle is hospitality. If you're throwing a party at your house and you invite 200 people to come, but you do zero planning or prep, when they walk through your door, there's gonna be no food, no decorations, no music, no ambiance, no activities. And people are gonna be like, man, this is a bad party. And they're not gonna know what to do. And maybe they're even gonna think you're a bad host. But if you take the time to prep all of those things, when they walk through your door, they would feel welcomed, taken care of, and appreciate your hospitality towards them. Lifecycle is the same. Lifecycle ensures when someone subscribes, signs up, and enters your world, that they're taken care of and always guided toward the next step. And it's important to note that you need both invitation and hospitality. No invites means no one comes to the party, and no acquisition means there's no one to convert, retain, or expand the relationship with. So acquisition is invitation and lifecycle is hospitality. Okay, let's dig deeper into the conversion, retention, and expansion piece. When I say conversion, I mean people who have given you their email address or sign up for an account, but they haven't bought from you yet. Converting people who never bought from you for the first time is usually a huge opportunity for every business, especially if you've only focused on short sell, convert immediately acquisition bets. I'm working with a mobile app client right now who has almost 1 million people who never converted. And we're thinking through how to win these people back and also putting preventative, conversion-focused lifecycle automations in place as people start to disengage. Example lifecycle automations that roll up into the conversion metric are a welcome series, nurture series, activation series, free trial series for software businesses, and a reactivation series. The specific ones will vary for each unique business, but you get the point. Welcome series is what people receive when they first give you their email. Nurture is what they get if they don't convert to being a customer after your welcome series. You want to nurture that relationship. Activation and free trial series is where you drive people toward the key behaviors that will get them to convert after they sign up. Reactivation is a series to people who never converted even after being welcomed and nurtured, and you give it one more shot before not messaging them anymore. When I say retention, in a software business or app context, I mean keeping subscribers paying for the same plan. In an e-commerce context, retention means getting one-time customers to buy the same thing again. For non-software and non-e-com businesses, I just ask the question, like, what does retention look like for your context? The guiding principle to answer it for your context is retention is getting people to continue to buy the same thing they already bought from you, or in non-purchase cases, to continue to use your product as a habit. Example lifecycle automations that roll up into the retention metric are an onboarding series, ongoing education flows, recurring usage reports in a software context, and also celebrating milestones. An onboarding series teaches people how to be successful with your product. For example, if they bought a skincare routine from you, it would teach them how to use the skincare routine. Another example, if they bought a breathwork app from you, it teaches them how to use it in their daily life. The onboarding series is the initial education, but ongoing education is important too. Like when people reach certain milestones of usage, or they've reached the time frame where they usually run out of product and need to buy again to replenish. In a software company context, I actually really love making recurring usage reports where every month someone gets a recap of how they use the product and then recs on how to get even more out of the product, because it's unique, it's dynamic, and then once you build it, it's personalized every single time. Kind of think like Spotify Wrapped, but sent to you every month. That's retention. When I say expansion, I mean getting people to upgrade plans or try other products so they pay you more and their lifetime value is higher. In an e-commerce context, this is where a cross-sell series and an upsell series comes into play. And that could be cross-sells to other one-off purchases or upsells to subscriptions or bundles. In a software business context, there's cross-sell and upsell series too. They're just like built different, and they're tied to your pricing plans and how they work. One of my favorite examples from a current client of mine is we shipped a free trial of the premium plan for people who were already on the standard plan. So we built in call to actions into the product to get people to try the free trial of the premium plan. Then we built an automated lifecycle flow that showed them and nudged them to try all of the premium features that week so they would ultimately subscribe to premium, which is essentially an upsell series just with different mechanics. It's important to note that the lifecycle automations to make that move conversion, retention, and expansion metrics will 100% look different for every business. You can't just make all the examples I mentioned because they may not transfer one-to-one to your context. I'll teach you how to figure out what you need for your context and future stuff I make, but for now the point is that there's lifecycle automations for every metric, and that at a high level, lifecycle's potential impact is moving conversion, retention, and expansion metrics. The opportunity in front of you is to drive impact for your company. What would it mean for you if you increase conversion? What would it mean for you if you increase retention? What would it mean for you if you increase expansion? Lifecycle is a bet you can make to move those metrics. That's its potential impact. Up next, I want to chat with you about how to take action on Lifecycle. What do you do? What do you build? What do you need to make for your business? Let's talk soon.